Welcome back to Stop Losing Women. I'm your host, Barry Wilmington, and today we're going to talk about the 4 ways you unintentionally C-block yourself when you're out in the real world, and as a result of that, you are losing women and you're not even aware of it. So the reality is most of the world is going to be throwing rejection your way. There's going to be women that are going to just outright not want to date you. There's going to be scenarios set up where it's going to be hard for you to talk to women, but there are also things that you are unintentionally doing that make it much harder for you to actually attract women, including women that out in the real world could actually be looking at you and thinking, I wish you would approach. I wish you would talk to me. Oh man, I'd love to spark a conversation with him. And it's for the reasons I'm going over today. So if you remove these things and start paying more attention to what's actually going on, you will find you will get much better results with women. And by the way, if you need more of my help, you can go to stoplosingwomen.com. You can sign up for one-on-one coaching. You can also get my best-selling ebook, Stop Losing Women. Either you can purchase it, or if you opt into the newsletter, you can read it for free. So with all that said, let's get into it. So the first way that you're C-blocking yourself out there in the real world is you are stuck inside your phone. I've seen too many people these days walking around, whether they're in their cars, they're on buses, they're walking from place to place, they're at stoplights, they're in restaurants waiting in line, and everybody is just glued to their phone. So you're walking around, you're looking down, you're scrolling, you're playing games, you might be texting your friends, but you are just steadfast on looking at your device. Almost feels like 24/7, except you got to sleep for 8 of those hours. So we'll say 16 hours out the day, you're just glued to your phone. When you do that, though, you avoid looking up and looking around and observing and seeing what's going on practically in front of your face. Because I can assure you, if you went, we'll say a good 3 or 4 days where you weren't so engrossed in your phone and you just went out and did stuff without having to pause every time that something's not happening to look on your phone, you'd have time to look around and see other attractive women that are out there. And some of them are actually looking at you. They're seeing how you dress, how you hold yourself, and they're thinking, man, he looks so great. And you're not seeing those women because you're in your phone and you're stuck in the world of technology instead of out in the open. I think people in general could do a better job of not being so in their phone because it really does pull your attention and it does not allow you the exercise of actually observing and saying, hey, wait a minute. Maybe I've seen some context clues, some social cues here. This girl's flipping her hair. This girl's kind of looking at me. This girl just walked by and brushed me. And because I wasn't in my phone, I recognized, oh, that's probably a signal. There's a lot of that's probably going on that you're unaware of. So consider when you're out there, take a break from being your phone so much, and you'll start to see that there actually are other hot, attractive single women out there that are looking at you if only you would also pay attention to them. The second way that you're C-blocking yourself, this is one that I was guilty of for a long time, is you're walking around with resting, don't talk to me face. Now, how does this happen? Well, if you're a guy that's been rejected enough times, you start to think, what is the point of walking out there and trying to approach people and trying to talk to women because I get rejected all the time, right? And so your body will subconsciously help you avoid rejection by saying, if I just walk around with a face that looks like this, then it's neutral enough to where I'm not me-mugging people, but it doesn't look like I want to be bothered either. And so that way, rather than you walking out there as if you want to actually meet people, you're walking around pre-protecting yourself from getting any kind of rejection. The problem is women out there are also going to see you when you walk around with that face. And there might be a woman that's all bubbly and happy and if she saw you, she'd be like, oh, he looks like an approachable guy if you had an approachable look on your face. But you don't. You look like somebody that's walking around saying, don't bother me. I don't want to have an interaction. I don't want to risk rejection. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to talk to you. And women pick up your energy. So if the energy you're walking around with is, please don't talk to me, then yeah, women are also going to avoid talking to you, including ones that may have tried to possibly approach if it looked like you would actually be happy to talk to them, okay? And this speaks to, you can't have so much bitterness about the dating process and about previous rejections that it causes you to just close yourself completely off. Unfortunately, rejection is part of the dating game, but the more personal you take it, the more your body's going to be like, I don't want to face rejection anymore. And it's going to unintentionally cause you to have the face and the body posture that says, world, please don't talk to me. Ladies, don't approach me. Women, don't try to talk to me because I'm going to shut you down. And as bad as you think rejection is on your end, women really hate rejection. So if they have any kind of sense that talking to you or approaching you is going to result in them getting rejected, they're not going to do it. So fix your face, fix your attitude, fix your mindset, and then your face will be one that looks like it's more inviting versus one that's closed off from interactions with women. Now, the third way that you unintentionally C-block yourself is that if a woman does approach you and starts talking to you, you just assume that she's just being friendly, she's just being nice, and there's no way that she would actually want to have any interactions beyond this. What does this look like? Let's say you're in a grocery store and a woman comes up to you and is like, excuse me, I'm trying to find the toilet paper aisle, but I can't seem to find where it is. Could you help me? Now, on the surface, that's just a woman asking for help. But understand something, gentlemen. Women do not typically like to approach. More often than not, especially strange men that they're not attracted to, they're really not trying to typically approach guys out in the wild that they don't have a level of feeling comfort already or being somewhat attracted to, right? So assume that when women come up to you, they could have picked tons of other dudes in this store. Out of all the guys that are in this store that have walked up and down and past her and she done walked past the cashiers, she came up to you to ask you for directions because women know that men like to help and men like giving directions, right? So, but at the point that this happens, let's say you say to her, oh, the toilet paper aisle is I think it's aisle 6 or 7, right? Now, at this point, as far as you know, the interaction is over. The next thing she says is, oh, I don't know. I'm so directionally uninclined. Could you help me? So now she's trying to extend the time that she's spending with you, right? So at this point, now you're like, okay, I'll take you where the toilet paper is. So you're walking her to the toilet paper aisle. And while you're walking her, she's asking you, how often do you shop here? What kind of things do you like to buy here? Are you from the area? She's asking you all these questions, which I teach you guys are questions that women ask when they have a budding interest, right? But you're just thinking, I mean, she's just being friendly. She's just trying to, hold up a conversation. So if we can get to the aisle, then once we get to the aisle, she'll be fine and be done with it. This is that. And that speaks to your level of self-esteem. And again, I get it. If you're a guy that has gone through a lot of rejection, and most guys have, then when women start talking to you, you're going to go to the worst case scenario. You're going to go to the side that says, she doesn't really want to talk to me, but she's doing it because she has to get the thing that she wants. But then once she does the thing, then it's whatever, right? And so that is also causing you to C-block yourself. Most of the stuff that times that we don't get women is because of things that our brain is doing to try to protect us from rejection. And so we end up doing the rejection ourselves versus seeing what could happen. Could this woman possibly like me? So in this scenario, you're looking at a situation where a woman comes up, starts talking to you, is trying to extend the conversation, and you're thinking, nah, that's a fluke. Nah, she wouldn't want me. I remember when I was in college, because I told every single woman there that I was a virgin because I thought it would win me points. Turns out when you tell women that, they become the ones that want to try to hook up with you. And so there would be times where women would take me back to their bedrooms where it's just me and them, or they would invite themselves to come to my dorm room where I had a solo room, and they would want to stay there and linger a little while longer. And I was thinking, do they want to go to bed with me? Nah, because I told them what it is. They wouldn't dare try that. Again, I'm C-blocking myself because I don't believe that this woman in front of me would actually be attracted enough to want to do more things beyond just talk to me and maybe eat some food that I cooked, And so you got to start looking at the scenario. Did she come up to you? Did she start the conversation? Is she following you around? Is she asking you stuff about herself? This isn't to say she has an end-all be-all crush on you, but her asking those things is indicative of she has enough interest there to warrant you making some kind of move that could further the interaction later. And that, my friends, actually leads to the fourth way that you are C-blocking yourself, is that you are not asking for her number at the end of these interactions. So as a blanket move, whether you approach a girl at a party or she approaches you in public or you meet her online or whatever, assuming that the talk seemingly went well, and there's good feelings and good vibes going on, at the end of every interaction with a new woman, you should be asking her, hey, real quick, let me get your number. And by the way, don't ask it tell her, real quick, let me get your number. You should be doing that at the end of every interaction with a new woman. Now, unfortunately, again, a lot of guys get nervous. Even with the good interaction, they think, but if she really wanted to keep talking to me, she would have just given me the number. Guys, she's already approached you. She's already sparked the conversation. She's already asked you questions about yourself. She is the woman, does not want to be making all the moves in this interaction to try to get something going. There's going to have to be a part that you play. So we're going to assume she did all the other stuff. At the end of the interaction, what she's probably not going to do is say, hey, it was really great talking to you. Can I give you my number? Because she doesn't want to face rejection on her side. She wants to feel as though she's thinking this. If you had a good enough time talking to her, then you would want to get her number, because that shows that she also did a good job of piquing your interest. And so you're thinking, but I don't want to make her feel weird. And I don't want to make her uncomfortable. And, guys today, when they approach women, they get blah, blah, blah. Well, this is the case we're getting. She approached you, but also she talked to you for an extended period of time. If a girl talks to you for more than 3 minutes, guarantee she's already thinking about, can this guy just get my number? I wanted to talk to him so I could, let him know that I'm somewhat interested, but I got other stuff to do, but I want to talk to him later. And so you being nervous and you thinking, well, I don't want to miss this net, guy, you're C-blocking yourself. And I get it. You're also probably thinking, but if I ask her the number, she's going to know that I like her. Here's the thing. Women don't mind you asking for the number because it indicates that you like her just enough to want to see at a later date if there's more to her than what she presented in this current interaction. It is, to them, you asking for the number is not an all-out signal that indicates that you're totally in love with her, and she's going to be thinking, he shouldn't be in love with me, he doesn't know me, but he got my number, and so that means at the very least, he wants to get to know more about me to see if maybe there's some chemistry, and maybe this could be a thing long-term, okay? So you got to get out of the headspace of thinking that you getting the number is indicating that there's some big love fest going on, all right? But if you don't get the number, what women will think is, oh, he didn't really like me that much, or you weren't bold enough to step to her to make the move to get the number, which means you're probably afraid of her, and that's very unattractive to women, okay? You got to get into the space where asking for the number is not a big deal. And for the longest time in my dating life, me trying to get a woman's contact number or anything, it was like the most nerve-wracking thing. Once I changed it and flipped it over to the part where I thought, oh, wait, how am I going to talk to her later unless I get a number? Duh, but I'm not asking her to marry me. I'm just asking her to get the number so I can talk to her later. That's not really a big move in the grand scheme of things. It's the one that will help get the ball rolling towards something later. But if you can't even do that step, then women are just going to be like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. And we want you, at the very least, to give a woman an indicator that you kind of know what you're doing. So being able to talk to her in an interaction and then being able to end that interaction with, hey, by the way, let me get your number. A woman will be able to say, oh, he kind of knows what he's doing. Okay, I'll talk to him later and see what's what. So if you just start doing those 4 things, you start walking around without being in your phone all the time. You stop walking around with resting, don't talk to me face. You stop assuming that a woman's just being nice when she approaches you or talks to you in public. And you stop waiting for her to just give you the number, or you stop not asking for the number and start actually getting the digits. You will find that a fair portion of your dating problems will go away because women will see that you know what you're doing. They'll see that you actually want to talk to them, and you'll be able to start getting real results because you're actually jumpstarting things with women simply by talking to them and asking them for the number. It really could be that simple. And by the way, if you need more help with this kind of stuff, you can go to StopLosingWomen.com, sign up for one-on-one coaching. You can also check out my Get Girls Academy, which houses a collection of some of the best programs that I've ever put together to help you be able to better approach women in a variety of settings, as well as how to date them, how to attract them, and how to get them into relationships, all right? Anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching this video. If you're listening on the podcast, you can go to youtube.com/StopLosingWomen to watch the video. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, click in the section down below to listen to this as a podcast. I will catch you guys on the next episode. I'm out. Peace.